6 years, that's how long we'd been together. Long enough for our friends to joke that we were basically married already. I believed it too. I thought time, love, and shared dreams were enough to guarantee forever. But I was wrong. It happened on a quiet Sunday morning. No argument, no warning. Just her sitting there with a cup of coffee going cold between her hands as she looked at me and said softly, "I'm not sure if I want to marry you." The words didn't hit me all at once. They drifted through the air like slow-falling dust in an empty room, settling where they could hurt most. I just stared at her, waiting for her to laugh, to say she was joking. But she didn't. We'd built everything together. The trips, the late-night talks, the little apartment we decorated with second-hand furniture and too much laughter. I'd already picked the ring. She'd already found the dress. And now suddenly she wasn't sure. 100 questions swirled in my head, but my voice barely worked. All I managed to whisper was a single broken word. "Why?" She hesitated, eyes darting away from mine. "I don't know," she said finally. "You've always been good to me. You still are. But lately I feel like something's missing. Like I'm living someone else's version of happy." Something inside me cracked. I wanted to tell her that every love story has its dull chapters, that real love isn't supposed to shine all the time. But I didn't need to. Her face already said she was drifting away. The days that followed felt like walking through fog. Everything around me looked familiar, but nothing felt real. She still lived in our apartment, but she wasn't really there. The way she avoided my eyes, how her laughter never quite reached her lips. It all felt like distance in disguise. I tried to convince myself it was just a phase. I cooked her favorite meals, left little notes like I used to when we first started dating. But each effort echoed back at me like a sound bouncing off a wall that didn't care to listen anymore. One evening, sitting side by side on the couch, I finally asked, "Is there someone else?" My voice was steady, but my heart wasn't. She shook her head immediately. "No, there's not. It's not about that. It's about me. That line, it's about me. It always starts there. And it always ends with goodbye." She said she needed time to think, to figure things out. So she packed a small bag, kissed my cheek, and walked out the door. Just like that. For the first time in 6 years, the silence in our home felt deafening. I didn't sleep that night. I replayed every word, every moment, searching for where we started to fall apart. But the truth was, it hadn't been sudden. It had been fading for months. In the little silences, the glances at her phone, the way she smiled less when I walked in. 2 weeks passed. No calls. No texts. Not because I didn't want to reach out, but because I wanted her choice to mean something. If she needed space, she could have it. Still, every night I found myself staring at my phone, half hoping, half dreading that her name would appear. And one night it did. A simple message. "Can we talk?" We met at the same cafe where we'd had our first date. She looked nervous, tracing the rim of her cup. "I thought I knew what I wanted," she began quietly. But after I left, everything felt wrong. I didn't interrupt, I just listened. Maybe that was what she'd needed all along. "I kept trying to picture life without you," she continued, voice trembling. But the more I tried, the emptier it felt. Maybe I got scared. Maybe I mistook comfort for boredom. But being away made me realize, peace isn't boring, it's rare. Her eyes met mine, shimmering with something that looked a lot like regret. I took a deep breath, choosing my words carefully. "You hurt me," I said. "But I'd rather rebuild something real than pretend it never mattered." She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. That day we didn't promise forever. We just promised effort, to fall in love again, not with who we were, but with who we could still become. Sometimes you have to lose someone to truly see them. And sometimes, if you're lucky, they find their way back before it's too late.